Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to this rather beautiful day in the Midlands. Today's a nice sunny Wednesday. Air temperature is 12 degrees. It's a nice bright day here. We have high pressure dominating, winds from the east. And today's little excitement is we're going to take a little ride today, and we're heading up to the peaks, up towards Matlock Way today, and then maybe back. Hopefully out for about hour and a half, 2 hours. Let's get the screen up there. Just quieten things down a little for you guys. Ah dear. No, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous day. As I say, haven't taken this bike up towards Matlock for a little while, so, well, this particular one actually I haven't taken at all. It's the first real good outing up there since I got it. And so we shall see what we shall see, how well it goes. Mission today, as I say, is just get up there, have a nice cup of tea or something, show you guys a little bit of the scenery, and then tootle on back. As I say, should be out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. What we're going to do is we're just heading out towards Derby, and then up towards Matlock via the Wirksworth Road, rather than go up the A6, because it's always over policed and slow and not particularly certain. Although scenic in its own way, it's not as nice as it could be. So as I say, we're just heading out through Draycott at the moment, and out towards Derby, and we'll pick this up when we're a little bit nearer and heading into some more interesting roads. So I'll speak to you in a moment. Okay guys, well here we are. We're just coming on the northern edge of Derby and heading up. We're going to go by a little change of plan. We're going to go on a little circuit past Kedliston Hall and then pick up the Wirksworth Road at our intersection point about halfway down. It's actually a little bit more scenic this way. Just had a little adjustment to the camera, realised that I hadn't reset the microphone for my test with the full face helmet, so the mic sensitivity was at lowest, and I've upped it to mid position just to see how we're going here. Hopefully, I can't quite remember whether it was I decided whether full or mid was the best position with this boom. I think it was mid, but anyway, so the audio may not be as good as it could be, but that's not really the point. You don't really want to hear me nattering on more than you have to, and so we just enjoyed the scenery and the ride, which is rather lovely this time of day. First really good, nice ride out to the peaks this year. As you can see though, the traffic is always heavy. There's just too many people in a very small island, basically. But we should be able to get past some of this, work our way around. Ah dear. Well, we're slowly climbing up into the peaks at the moment. You can probably tell the road is just going up, and it does this pretty well remorselessly. Most of the peaks is around about the 1,000-foot mark, which is not really high, but you do notice the drop in temperature. Air temperature at the moment is a rather balmy 16 degrees, which is frankly as high as I've seen it this year. But probably by the time we get up there proper, temperatures will be down to about 10. Right, we're just looking to get a good view for an overtake, but it's always tight round here. There's just no dice, I'm afraid. So I think patience is going to be the order of the day. We'll just cog it up at the top and just enjoy it. Enjoy the scenery. Well, we got a chance for a quick hop. Not far, but every bit counts. You get a lot of heavy traffic up in the peaks because, of course, they do there's a lot of limestone quarrying going on. So it's always during the week. There's always the heavy trucks. Yeah, Kedliston Hall here. Now we might get a little gap just coming up here. There's a bit where the road just sort of opens out a touch. But I suspect not. Not with this density, there's nowhere to dive in. Now's the time. Got him. It's one thing with the FJ, you've got instantaneous pickup, no problems there. There we go, Western Underwood and climbing up. Oh dear, road ahead closed. Oh, it's that one. Oh good. I was just thinking we might have to backtrack all the way around back again. Oh well, there would be no problems, but not a great help. Ah dear, now we're heading up a nice rise here. So actually a really good road to ride if you haven't got traffic in front of you. Unfortunately we are slowed down to 35 miles an hour, so we are slow. Oh yeah, here we go. We're almost worthwhile taking it up into 5th. But up here used to be a pub called the Cock Inn. Yeah, don't laugh, but cock as in chicken. But it used to be a really good little place to go for a pint. Or a bit of food. Did that quite often. Used to take my wife Alison up here. over the last, you know, I remember about 20 odd years ago when I first met, yeah, about 25 years ago when I first met her, we used to come up this way. Oh, they're renovating it. Fantastic. Here we go. Yes, the Cock Inn. I wonder whether that's actually going to be a pub again or whether they're going to turn it into flats. Oh well. But at least somebody's using the buildings. That will be good if it is. So just a nice place to sort of step in and have something to eat on the when you're out and about. Particularly sort of on a winter's day when it's a bit cold. Looking for somewhere warm. This is just lovely twisties. Oh no, he's going. Yeah, you could indicate, mate, but nah, that'd give the game away, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be any fun? Nice off camber turn. Right, we'll just go right at the intersection. Left turn for Ashbourne. Right, we're heading down towards Belper, but we're not actually going to get as far as that. We're going to turn off and head up towards Wirksworth, which is a slightly more interesting ride. And we catch up with another truck, but that's no big deal. We're back here. All this is at the moment is 50-mile-an-hour zones, which is a real pain in the neck. I remember, you know, say 30 years ago, all this was national speed limit, no worries. We used to come tearing up here with our old LCs and X7s, and my friend Ken Underwood had a 500 LC. I remember he got that back at the beginning of '85, one of the very first ones around here. And that thing was pretty fast. I only rode it a couple of times. But if you've ever ridden an old 350 LC, or more correctly a 350 power valve, for anybody in America that would be the RZ 350. It was like that, but more so. But a lot less frenetic than, say, an RG500, which was much more highly tuned. And of course it was a lot lighter, the RG was a lot lighter. At the same time as my friend Ken had that LC, I had initially an RG250, which was a development to the X7. Basically it was a water-cooled X7 motor in an alloy frame, and that went really well. I mean, I was tiny then. I mean, I'm not exactly big now. I'm only 5 foot 6.5, 5'7", 10 stone 10. Back then I was a little bit shorter. Now this was back when I was about 17, 18. I doubt if I weighed 8.5 stone, something like that. So it was tiny. And the little RG was great. I mean, it knocked out about 40. What do we reckon? Probably about 40 odd horsepower, which is not a huge amount, but here we go, left turn Clyde. Ooh, a little bit of gravel on the corner there. Feel that moving. I say this is all 50 mile an hour zone. It used to be 60 before, but don't think it's particularly well enforced, so we won't worry too much. And anyway, we're older now. We're not supposed to be doing stupid stuff. But you do get a lot of traffic, like this waste truck turning out from the sides. So we're just going to have to sit behind this dude with the stench until we get a little chance to pass. Now we'll be going sort of downhill a little bit, and then there's a bridge which we'll cross, and then we'll should have a little bit of a passing opportunity. That is, of course, unless he pulls over. You never quite know. Well, we'll just back off, and so we don't get hit by anything, and also try not to take up too much of an intimidating position. Here we go. We go over the stone bridge here, over the railway. He's going left. I think it's down to the houses down there. I can't remember. There's a pub down there. Oh bloody hell! 40 mile an hour. That's a bit silly. 50's bad enough, but we will be going into a village fairly soon, so we'll be down to 30 anyway. Yeah, we go. And it's only common courtesy to respect these, you know. Guys coming through here, flat tack on open pipes gives everybody an incredibly bad name, and I've watched that things get worse and worse for the riders up in the peaks over the last 30 years. And it's mostly due to, as I say, it becoming very popular with the sports bike brigade. I mean, it always was with the locals, but another FJ, fantastic. Yeah, once it got sort of notoriety in the national press, the roads here became terribly policed. I mean, the A6 always was, but even the little back roads like this, which were, for the locals, we knew all about these. There we go. Anyway, sort of loping along at a reasonable speed suits the FJ. She's as I say, she's a big old girl. You can hustle her, but there's a lot of mass, you know, 300 kilos worth plus rider. There we go. There we go, a little contraflow. Interesting. Oh well. I wonder if it's stuck. Oh well, whatever. Everybody else seemed to know what they were doing, so fair enough. Now down we go here. I remember coming around here a little bit quick on my old 350 LC with a friend of mine, Jackie, on the back, and the old girl weaving like a bugger. It's a funny thing. People always said the old Mark 1 LCs handled well. They did, but only relative to everything else. Yes, compared with an H1, yeah, it handled really well, but it still weaved like a bugger. Those frames were not that strong, and certainly, you know, compared with, for instance, my Velocet Venom, which I also had at the time, that handled an awful lot better. But when we went on to the first of the power valves, order of magnitude better. The frame didn't flex. You got a little bit more power. It really was night and day. But I mean, thing is, we accepted some of the abysmal characteristics of the bike because it was as good as it got. I mean, I remember that LC coming back from the Rock House, which was one of the nightclubs in Derby, at about 1 in the morning on a cold night, and coming off the A52 at a steady 85, and she's gently weaving away in a gentle rhythm as we come into Spondon. And we just thought, oh, this is good, it's not actually tank slapping, fantastic. Oh dear. But we were young and brave. But as I say, when you finally get hold of a bike with a decent frame, it is an eye-opener. That said, I wouldn't mind having another LC, just for some fun. But they are now getting very expensive. And anything you could afford would essentially mean a total ground-up rebuild. They were never really built to last. They were live fast and die young. But I really do need a 2-stroke in the garage, you know. I mean, another RG250 would be lovely, but again, they're pricey. Or an RGV would be quite nice. That was the later V-twin 250cc Susie. Or really nicely was the Aprilia RS250. Now that used the RG engine. I don't think it was particularly tuned, but I've ridden one once and it was lovely. Real little racer. Although I really don't think my wrist can handle that. But the clutch would be light enough, but yet I'm still hoping my left wrist will recover sufficiently enough to ride manuals again. I had a little go on my my Guzzi for about 20 odd minutes and it was okay. A little bit of pain, but okay. But I suspect that might be as much as anything due to the riding position. But I would love to try the new FJR with the lighter clutch. This is, we're just coming up through Wirksworth, by the way. Rather lovely little place. And we're just still climbing up. Drop the screen a little bit. Yeah, I went to Clay Cross last weekend. I just managed to pop out. That was actually, it was on this Sunday? Yes, it was. No, sorry, it was last Saturday. I'm losing track of my days badly. And I popped up there, and they had a 216 FJR, and the guy said they could get a demonstrator in, but I'd have to arrange it. They'd like about 2 weeks' notice. And I must admit, I was quite tempted. I can't afford it, that's the problem though. I mean, you are still talking 14,500 quid. Lot of money. Oops, I think we've just had the camera shut down. We shall see. I'll just pull in up here and see what's happened. Oh, it might still be recording. Sorry about that, guys. I just heard a little bit of a beep from it, so I don't quite know what happened there. Yeah, okay, yep, obviously my fault. Maybe I hit something. Anyway, good stop. Anyway, we're still climbing up out of Wirksworth. It might actually be that I've just hit the maximum file size and it's started a new file. That would be quite interesting. I didn't think it'd be battery because we should have been pretty well full charge. But you never know. Anyway, let's put the screen up just so keep the mic sheltered. Now you can see a fairly stiff descent here, 12%. And we're heading down towards Matlock Bath now. No, but as I was saying, it'd be lovely to ride that new FJR, see how it goes with the new clutch. Because I must admit, I have sort of caught the FJR bug. I mean, this Gen 2 UK Gen 3 is lovely, and I've got it properly sorted now. But you know how it is. The newer and shinier stuff looks great, and I must admit, would be a bit of a sucker for the cruise control, particularly on the motorways, because again, I suffer from arthritis in the wrist, and holding the throttle open continuously, I know it sounds bizarre, but it does start to cause aches. I mean, I know you can get a little throttle lock or something like that, but, you know, it is fairly caveman technology compared with the proper electronic stuff. Also, it's excellent stuff when you're in these roadworks where you've got the average speed cameras, and they really do work. So just being able to say sit the thing at 50 when you've got mile after mile of roadworks is just nice. And so you can take your eyes off the speedo and keep it on the traffic, which is, you know, just got to be good for survival. Right, now we're just coming down towards the junction here, and we'll take a left towards Matlock. Yeah, but even if I couldn't handle a manual clutch again, I think I would love to get an AS version of the Generation 3s. And oddly enough, of course, now they're being discounted. The cheapest one I've seen was 0 miles on. It's going for about 12,500 quid. You know, that's a bit of a bargain. In black, I think it was on eBay. It was a dealer down in Crawley. But I mean, that's not too bad, you know. You know, if you keep saying this thing often enough, you get to sort of convince yourself it's affordable. But we'll see. Anyway, as I say, we're just going to take a left into Matlock. And we'll see what the mini bikers are. I mean, it's midweek, but as you can see, we've got two guys up here. Ooh, and what's that? Is that an XS 650? Yeah. No, it can't be. Just looked a bit classic. I'd love to see what it actually is. Yeah. Oh. These are some of the old cotton mills, spinning mills, that the Derwent Valley is famous for. Down the road is Cromford, where the famous Cromford Mill, which was set up by Arkwright, who was one of the first great textile magnates in this area. And of course, they came up here to use the water because of the water power. Because this was all set up before there were still Newcomen's beam engines, but high-speed efficient rotary engines really hadn't sort of come into widespread use. when Arkwright was setting up the mills here. Of course, that was to change very quickly by the end of the 1700s. Here we are, the famous Matlock Bath. This is the lower area. This is the bit what's famous for all the bikers. And as you can see, a good turnout. So what we're going to do is we'll just go down the end, just give you dudes a quick look out. We'll come back. I might get myself something to eat. And we'll have a look. Oh yes, haven't been here for bloody ages. Nothing changes. Nothing changes in the last 35 years since I've been coming up here. I have to find out how the great battle about the parking fees went. As you can see, a good collection of iron. Lots of sports bikes, lots of cruisers. On Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays, when this place is really busy, there is just bikes solid all the way up and down here. And you got the river, the Derwent here on the right. I tell you what, we'll take for a little wander into Matlock itself and then come back out again. Just to show you the more posh end of here. Now up here, I don't know, behind the trees, you'll see it in a moment, is the cable cars that run across the valley. This is the Heights Abraham. Great tourist draw here. As I see with the FJ, it really does cruise lovely. Here we are just sitting 5th gear, she's turning 2000 RPM. Very comfort. Bloody speed cameras. Oh. That's the nice thing about modern GPS is if you've got a speed camera map in them, they at least give you a bit of a heads up. When I'm driving for work, because I tend to do a lot of driving of hire cars, going from airport to airport, I hate driving up my TomTom because it's... bloody hell. Okay, I tell you what, we'll give this one a miss. We'll just turn it around here and... There we go. We'll go round back in. I'll go try and find me Butty. Now remembering 40 mile an hour. Having just said about the speed cameras. Yes, I suspect that beeping earlier was probably the camera hitting max file size. I remember it doing something like this once, and then it picks itself up. It just starts a new file. That's no big deal, but just as long as we know what it is. Because there have been problems with the drift cameras, with cards, with it not recording and that. So far mine's been really good. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. But we'll see what we've got. Doesn't really matter, it's a lovely day out and I'm enjoying myself. But I'm still learning all about this equipment and video editing and everything. It's all really, really new to me. I just thought it'd be quite a fun thing to do. Not to mention, it's actually quite nice to get them home and edit them and watch them yourself, just to re-enjoy the ride. Particularly if I'm away, I'll try. But and I've certainly learned an awful lot about video file compression, which I never really thought of. For instance, how YouTube actually works. Because I always thought it wasn't probably worthwhile trying to upload high definition files because of it would just simply get scrunched. Well, that's not actually true. Apparently, the system is sophisticated enough to sense how good your internet connection is and pick the file size accordingly. So, for instance, if you've got a good internet connection, a fast one, you could easily be running 1080p 60 frames. If it's crap, or you're running it on a phone or something, it'll be running something like about 420 or 360 or something like that. Anyway, we'll just pop in up here, and I think it's time for a cup of tea. And I'll pick this one up later. Speak to you later.